Hello everyone. Greetings to all people present here. My name is Elias Maroso. I am a Brazilian artist, independent artist and researcher living in Porto Alegre, Brazil, Brazilian southern region. And let me see, how can I? Okay. And it's my first time visiting Paris and has been a very intense experience. And additionally, this is my first time presenting this work and this subject entirely in English. So I appreciate everyone's understanding because this presentation will be reading a written text, okay? How to express beyond human phenomena and sensibilities. Is it possible to connect artistic and scientific languages to bring an invisible horizon to visibility? Well, this talk involves the creative process and possible discussions stimulated by the electronic installation titled Cryptochrome, the Hidden Color, created by me. And this color was conceived specifically for the 13th Mercosul Visual Arts Biennial, which took place between September and October 2022 in Porto Alegre, Brazil. The proposal was developed into an artist residency, articulating different media, scientific investigations, and electronic prototyping laboratories. Its primary motivation refers to the visual magnetoreception of some migratory bird species, an ability that is difficult to represent from the human senses and language. This work arose from an epiphanic encounter with the scientific paper titled Acuity of the Cryptochrome and Visual-Based Magnetoreception System in Birds from 2010, published in Biophysical Journal 99 by Solovyov, Moritzen, and Schulten. In this paper, there is a representation of how migratory birds possibly can see the Earth's immense magnetic fields from the retinal protein called cryptochrome. Cryptochrome, hidden color in Greek, is the name given to a protein present in the genetic makeup of organisms sensitive to magnetism. Studies in computational biophysics demonstrate that this protein is found in cells of the retina of several traveling birds, guaranteeing them a precise capacity for orientation and continental navigation added to the sense of sight. According to such evidence, it's possible to state that some avian species can perceive with their own eyes the activity of the Earth's magnetic poles through tonal variation seen on the horizon. Based on scientific formulations, the installation Cryptochrome, the Hidden Color, proposes to present in artistic context this avian cryptochromic vision as a form of spatial location sensitive to imperceptible natural phenomena to human senses. Such artistic motivation led me to the creation of a suspended visual and sound panel aiming at two general technical operations. First, representing how migratory birds can see the geomagnetism of the local landscape, and two, emitting the singing of a magnetoreceptor bird through the electromagnetic vibrations of the photographic paper itself. Thus, in this intention and in my perspective, the installation represents and physically presents humanly invisible phenomena. Thereby, in its creative process involved drone photography, digital simulation based on scientific models, and constructing an electronic system for flat paper speakers. About the representation of the avian visual compass in the landscape, Cryptochrome, the hidden color, presents a group of 18 images associated with the cardinal and ordinal points of a same place in Porto Alegre, Brazil. The images were elaborated based on a visual filter model initially found in the scientific paper above mentioned. This publication proposes that this sensitivity manifests itself like radial tunnel gradients superimposed on the observed landscape, aligned to the south-north axis of the Earth's immense magnetic field. Given this, the installation contains... Given this, the installation contains in its upper frames tonal gradients for each compass directions, each spatial directions, printed in black and white, and the main panoramic sequence below fully demonstrate the magnetic or intend to or simulate the magnetic visions of traveling birds. In the sequence below, the tonal gradients superimposed drone photographs. Let me see. The installation also includes a second operation, which is execution of a bird song through an electromagnetic audio device. This device works through the electromagnetic vibration of the image's material, which the photographic paper. The audio device plays a recording of the migratory birds known in Brazil as Juruviara boreal, Vireo olivaceus, a species that can see the geomagnetic poles. The creative motivation for the magnetoreception and the hidden color protein is the concrete occurrences of non-human senses in nature. In this case, the human eye is entirely blind to phenomena perceived and even visualized by other living beings. In a way, the creation of this artwork can be seen as a ready-made of a scientific model, redimensioned in the context of an art exhibition. What before could only be technical information can in this contest, in this creation, occur poetic qualities involving what we can see and what we cannot see. In art, more important than seeing is making visible, poucle. This studies refers to an effort to show how other life forms through inventive to show other life forms through inventive abstractions of human language. In conclusion, considering its interdisciplinarity and multidisciplinarity process, the proposal sought to connect art, science, and technology instances in an equitable way. All stances impregnate themselves with a cohesive relationship with nature, which continues to move our perception, language, and existence in the world. So, here, more images. And that's it. Merci beaucoup. Muito obrigado. Thank you very much. If anyone have questions, we have time to this. No.
Une question? Je pense. Hop. I'm sorry, you had a question? No? Sorry, I thought.
Do you understand me?
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Oops. I'm so sorry.
Hi, thanks for your talk, which I found really fascinating, the idea of expanded perception and learning from other beings, how perception can be expanded. My question is sort of a technical one, because I'm curious about thinking about the perception of magnetic radiation of the Earth poles as vision. Because our typical understanding of vision occurs in certain wavelengths and at certain frequencies. And I'm curious if the range, I don't think the magnetic radiation of the Earth's poles is anywhere near in the same vicinity as the wavelength and frequency of human vision. That doesn't mean that we can't expand our conception of vision for other beings into other realms, but it seems like maybe what's gained by referring to this as vision as opposed to another sense altogether? And I don't know the science of it because I haven't read the articles that you referred to, but I'm curious if you can explain that a little bit more so I can understand why we call this vision instead of some other sense.
Well, this work leads to a very difficult. We don't have the vision of the birds, of course, and it's like to approach the science and art to formulate an image. Are you hear me? Is it me? Okay. And it's difficult to formulate an image. So when I found this paper, I have like a aesthetic experience because the visuals, the illustration is very graphic, and it's possible to relate with other works of mine that I made. So the interesting thing for me is the way that we can represent what we never can see, what we never we are blind of the phenomena, and for us, or for me, in this process, it will be like was like a very aesthetic way. I don't know. I don't know if I am answering your question, but there is no precise way to represent this, and that's the reason. That's the reason that I bring this study for an artistic contest. You know, no, that's it. Thank you.
Is there any other question? No question? Yeah, a question here. Et nous aurons un moment avec Maurice Benayoun juste après. Mais peut-être avec un petit moment de pause. Your question, please.
Hi, Elias. Thank you for your presentation. I had knowledge of your work before, as you know. But I was curious to ask you at this point if it was the first time that you worked with in this between the electromagnetic waves and animals, because I know we have a lot of big sculptures and a lot of different things with radio and all the statical, poetic things you do, but I haven't seen animals before, so that's my question.
Yes. I am. Well, this is my first time that I'm relating magnetism and electromagnetism with other animals, and I found this paper when I made to myself a question: is it possible to see, or there are some species in nature that can see the magnetism or electromagnetic phenomena? The light is an electromagnetic wave, but in this case it's only magnetism and involves a lot of quantum physics studies. And yes, possibly this work opened a door for another works, another process. And for me, it's a kind of how can I say, displace the human eye from this anthropocentric kind of view, and notice that there's a lot of phenomena that us humans don't perceive. So it's a kind of, I don't know, it's a humble movement. It's a kind of displacement movement. Yes, that's it.